All right, welcome back to Climax of Night.
Hello.
We're here on the Data FGC stream, wrapping up the day with Puyo Puyo Tetris Swap Mode Top 3, while Multiplayer Grand Finals is going on right next to us, and we can't hear anything.
Yes.
But we have Oz and Bara Senpai coming up for Winners Finals. I'll be in Losers, and we'll just switch to it as soon as the players are ready.
Okay. I am. All right. So.
Yep. On an 8-player bracket today, whittled down to 3. Winding up the day with Puyo Puyo Tetris, a game that we've been running side tournaments for about 5 years at this point. Like
It's
ever
been
since
5
it came
years?
out. It came out 2014.
Oh, I think it's about 3 years for me.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's been pretty cool. So how was your first Climax of Night experience?
Pretty chill.
Yeah?
Like, they had me volunteering at the TO desk the whole weekend, but there were so many people working on it that it really wasn't that much of a workload.
We have a lot of experienced and, well, basically seasoned people here, so.
Ben runs a good event. Show him support if you can.
Yes.
All right, looks like we're going to it.
All right.
That's Oz on the right side of your screen, Bara Senpai on the left.
And
Bara
these
Senpai
are-
looks a little tired. It's been a long weekend.
But it's only 6. 6 something.
Well, tournament time. For anybody who has not tuned into a Puyo Puyo Tetris tournament before, maybe not familiar with the game, we typically play swap mode, which is 25 seconds of one of these games and then 25 seconds of the other, back and forth until one of the boards tops out. So you need to know what you're doing in both games, and you need to know how all the swap mechanics work, and we're just going to go straight into it.
So it looks like Oz is going for the perfect clear setup, but just doesn't
didn't
have
have
the
it.
right pieces.
It looks like they were both going for it. Yeah, there's a setup you can do at the start of the round. You have about a 74% chance of hitting it if you know what you're doing, where you can clear all the blocks and send 10 rows of garbage over to the opponent immediately at the start. Bara Senpai purposely waited for the Tetris to drop in hopes of dropping some garbage on Oz, but it looks like the opposite happened because Oz had a better attack on the swap. In general, garbage is much more difficult to deal with on Puyo than it is on Tetris, because in Tetris, whenever you clear garbage lines, it counts as an attack, and it also comes up from the bottom, so it's usually easier to plan around. In Puyo, though, garbage can really impede whatever you're building a lot more, and it doesn't boost your attack at all when you clear it. It just gives you your space back. Bara Senpai's already eaten a lot of garbage on Puyo. His board in the background is almost topped out already. He wants to make sure that by the next time they swap, he's not needing another attack on the swap. But here comes a Tetris. Yeah, Bara Senpai had a T-spin setup ready, but no T-block to fill in the gap. It's a first round to Oz, and this is a 1-to-5 set. It's completely random as to which game swap mode starts on, either Puyo or Tetris.
Well, both sides were going for the perfect
Bara
clear
got
setup.
it. So here's the thing, though. Perfect Clear sends so much garbage, but 7 of those garbage rows on Oz's side lined up perfectly to give him a Tetris. That's another thing about how garbage is usually easier to manage on Tetris, is that sometimes it gives you a comeback attack right away.
Just depends on what the RNG gods feel like giving you.
I think Oz wanted to fire off. Both of them want to fire off before the swap.
So Oz with a 6 chain
Yeah.
was not enough on Bara Senpai's side.
It was a nice push by Oz, but not enough to top Bara Senpai out. He's plugging his garbage holes pretty severely.
No, that's a lot of holes. To try to
Yeah,
fill in.
he can't climb over that second column anymore.
Oh, and just for reference, all finals are going to be the 1-to-5.
Yep.
So Bara Senpai going for the GTR setup, the only one that I know how to do.
Same.
It looks like Oz is doing the same.
Yep, the general building strategy for Puyo Puyo that a lot of players use is to build out the left bottom corner first, so that it starts with you start out by building your transition from your bottom 3 rows to the rows right above them. If you finish building that quickly, you won't have much risk of it being covered up early, and it can protect your chain instead of getting everything you're building blocked right out of the gate.
So both Bara Senpai and Oz with swap combos, but nothing really to follow it up with.
Yep.
So Bara Senpai is leaving a piece on the Tetris side so he can get a swap combo on his Puyo side, and it looks like it will be effective.
That's it. Like Oz needs to fire off something.
Oh my gosh, a 9-chain plus a swap combo?
Oz gave up.
Yeah.
Oz figured he didn't have enough to counter it, so he just topped himself out.
And just to give you guys some reference, these are the top, one of the top players in Georgia.
Yep. You have 2 top Georgia players and me in the top 3.
You're a top Georgia player.
Well, I've been practicing other puzzle games lately instead of this one for reasons we'll go into later. So I'm not really up to snuff at the moment, but we'll see.
So spoilers, guys. Please stay on after we finish.
Yep. We got an announcement either before or after Grand Finals.
Yes.
I forget when Marco's going to run the trailer.
You don't want to miss it. Please stay on. So now, one of the things that has always like bothered me is like, how do you make those Puyo pieces drop faster? Like Oz, it just seems so fluid for him, but I don't know. I feel like I have to plan out the Puyo pieces.
There's situations where rotating it twice in the same direction can get you to reach the ground faster,
Oh.
depending on which Puyo is like the axis.
Bara Senpai's gonna take that. He triggered his Puyo side first.
Yep. It's kind of hard to explain.
But yeah, the wiggling and the kicking off the sides of the walls. I know some people give it grief, but I really do love the GTR setup.
We have identical builds.
Oh my
there's the
goodness.
first difference. That's another interesting thing about these 2 games is that in Puyo Puyo, both players always get the same piece sequences. In Tetris, you don't. But the Tetris randomizer in these games is pretty predictable, and you're basically always guaranteed to get an even distribution of all 7 pieces. So even though the players are getting different piece sequences, there's not a whole lot of situations where it matters that much.
I think that's going to be a top out right there.
Yep.
Yes. So if you get to about over 5 chains on the Puyo side when you do the swap, it's an easy top out unless you have something to counter it with. So the, I believe his Melty side is about wrapping up.
Yep. Funky P Stream will be running Eunice Top 16 to close out the day. We'll be finishing up with this. All right, Bara Senpai needs to fire off
So Oz has already triggered. They both have triggered.
Yeah.
On the swap, but it looks like Bara Senpai may have more.
Nope.
So that's why it's very important to follow up if you're going to use the swap combo.
Gotta make sure to screen watch too. Like if your opponent is setting off a 5-chain right on the swap, you want to make sure you counter with your own.
For the most part, you don't want to carry over garbage on the Puyo. It's just a little more difficult to manage.
Just good dig chain from Bara Senpai. Oh,
Also a good counter, yes.
Yeah, I was completely negated that. Just a little surprised that the chain was big enough. Now, Bara Senpai is fairly messy garbage to dig through, so he might be spending a lot of his time cleaning and not attacking. Smart
really
piece management.
Yeah. Really good down stacking on Bara Senpai's part. More garbage coming over.
Oh, that's going to top him out. He has to clear.
Yes. 3, would that be enough? Yes.
Yep. Like, as long as you're clearing out pieces, the garbage will not drop until you stop clearing out pieces.
So I'm always bad with the terminology, but when you have 2 colors popping at the same time, that turns it into a power chain, correct?
That's usually what they call it, yeah.
Tetris, E-spin single.
Nice down stacking sequence from Bara Senpai. Even though he covered up one row in the middle of that.
And if I'm recalling correctly, this might be the follow-up to, or the run back from Momocon, actually.
I didn't go this year, so I wouldn't know.
I believe it was Vara Senpai and
Oz has completely built out the right side of his screen. It actually looks like a decent sequence, too.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna...
Strong 4-chain. The garbage isn't too bad on Vara Senpai's part.
So I can understand that struggle. It's like, what piece do you use so that you can, you know, get to your hole?
Feel the indecision.
And you don't want to use the eyepiece because you need the eyepiece.
Yep. All right, Oz has a piece in his Tetris background board that'll like trigger a swap combo if he wants to use it.
Oh, he's gonna have to, yeah.
Oz didn't have a whole lot to fire off, so he just decided to keep building instead.
Smart move on Oz's side.
Not a whole lot to be said other than that there's pretty solid down stacking. How many swaps have we gone into at this point?
I have not paid attention. It does seem like a while.
Yeah, margin time has to be getting close at this point if it hasn't already kicked in. And for those, for those not aware, Puyo Puyo has a mechanic where once you've been playing for so long, every single attack you make will fire off more and more garbage.
Oh, that's a lot of garbage.
And these two players are probably at a point where even basic chains are going to start sending several rows of garbage.
This is an intense match.
Yeah,
oh no, misdrop on Vara Senpai's side.
Yeah, they're pretty well matched.
At this point, it's whoever can get a chain.
Yeah, that's a 3-chain that dropped 14 rows of garbage. And another 3-chain that countered it. Like, everything is dangerous now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Yep. Can only last so long before everything kills you.
I wish there was a mode where we can just enable that immediately and see what happens.
You can in Puyo Puyo Champions. Like, you can mess with the margin time settings and how much garbage drops in general. But the customization for that kind of stuff on Puyo Puyo Tetris is a little bit more limited. Will Bara get the right piece?
Yes.
Yes, he does. Now the question is he going to lay... Okay, never mind. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
That's what I was going to say, is like, is he going to try and tank garbage, or is he going to let his Puyo chain resolve before he lays any more pieces?
Oh, he needs to hurry up and put the piece down.
He's got it.
Okay, cool.
Check out that Tetris. They're both going to try and trigger swap combos. Well, maybe. They don't really have much built.
Yes.
Dang.
That covered. Also, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance. I do not know how to commentate, so...
Don't worry about it.
I just had to sit here because we needed somebody to talk.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh my goodness.
Like, again, Bara Senpai's in a position where he's got messy garbage to deal with and very few rows to work with. I mean...
Oh no, just too many holes.
Stall.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, but he's
no,
already dead.
The X.
Yeah, he's already dead.
It's cover. So that's another part about this game. You have to pay attention to where those
nicely done,
holes
Oz. I'm going to go try not embarrass myself on stream.
You got this. So while while we transition, we are going to bring Oz here, and he's very, very good at Puyo. Actually, we will have Will, the tank, jump in on commentary with me. Hello there.
Hello, Carl. What's going on, folks? This is the tank.
It's nice to have a professional on the mic.
A professional.
Please lead me.
I don't know about that one. Don't know about that one. I do love this game, though, and I'm glad to have it out here, Climax of Night, this weekend. We have some awesome PPT players. One of them sitting right beside us. Not her best showing today, but we got next time for that. And sooner than you think, maybe. We'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Yeah, there's a lot of hints here, but please
yeah.
stick on, or stay on, sorry, after the end of the game. We have something special to show everyone.
I think we decided we're going to do it before Grand Finals, too. So
Oh, we are?
you have no choice. You will watch this if you want to see the last set of the evening.
Sorry, guys. You're going to have to stay on.
All right, and I believe that we are in the losers finals now. We got Bara Senpai versus 645. I got my clown horn here. Shout out to Stupid Penguin. He left it. Oh, man.
Oh, see, both going center forward. And just FYI, the reason why we all center forward, you can blame 645.
He is one of the best in the state at it, and the best way, well, I think a lot of us just decided that we'd rather just learn our own 4-wide, battle him at a speed, rather than shooting for a DT cannon. But, I mean, they look pretty close on it here. No garbage coming in on the first swap. They've kept it really close. Of course, a little bit of a botch setup there on Bara Senpai's side. We'll see if he can recover it.
You can actually fix a lot of that as long as you have enough lines above it. You can kind of drop the piece and make it fit into the right hole.
Yeah, if he gets the T piece there is on the way. This is all right, and we're back.
Yes. So it is the battle of the 4-wides.
He is lower on the combo, though. He's going to end up with a little bit of garbage regardless.
Oh, no!
More than I thought he would. Wow.
So when I was first learning how to play, 645 would 4-wide me constantly. So
got to do something about that.
Don't know how to do Tetrises, don't know how to do T-spins, but know how to do 4-wide.
645, starting with a lot more vertical play over here, starting his ceiling early. I kind of like that safety strats. But his speed significantly slower than Bara Senpai. We'll see what happens when Bara Senpai pops it. Like we saw last round, they look pretty close in Tetris speed.
And Bara Senpai is actually going to cut his chain, but it is still a fair amount of garbage coming.
Yeah, tough to build up right here. This is going to limit how much 645 can put back over on Bara Senpai's side.
He just needs to down stack. Oh!
Keep clearing.
Yes, he needs to keep clearing.
Almost out of options. This is bad when you get up to the danger zone and you have to take 2 pieces to clear a line.
But now 645 with a bigger chain, if he sets it off,
things could be quickly reversed right here.
Enough? Yes, I think it will be enough.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
that's
going to be it.
645
Bara
is on
Senpai
point right now.
Yep, saw the trash right there, said, all right, let's drop this in the middle and think about it. Tetris start. Interesting bags to start with. 645 starting with that line piece. Makes building this 4-wide really, really easy.
And it's just so hard to counter a forward wide unless you're really, really fast.
Gonna have to pop it right here. Has to cut his combo short.
But it's okay, it's coming.
Gonna leave this. Maybe he's gonna go for a 3-chain right here. Try and get a bit of a swap combo going, but not gonna be quick enough to build. That garbage on the 1 swap or 1 chain, most of the time it just goes to help your opponent. 1 block makes it easier to build around. You don't have to worry about your colors quite so much sometimes. Not me though. I'm not quite at that level yet.
Oh, the 4-wide is continuing. Will it be enough garbage?
No.
Yes! He will get the eyepiece.
But Bara Senpai, as the last eyepiece came through, cleared down to just one line on the bottom.
He's gonna have to stall a little bit. He's gonna have to stall. Oh, but he shouldn't carry over that garbage because they would have covered his Puyo.
Yes.
Oh no! Wait. Can he clear with the purples?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Bara Senpai able to trigger his chain soon. Oh my. So now it's just a wait game. Can he stall it out enough? And he probably will because he is down stacking. This looks really rough.
You got a couple good patterns right there, but that is going to be it.
Yes.
If that eyepiece had come 2 pieces sooner, he actually might have been able to dig his way out.
But then it goes back to the Puyo side, and then it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, missed drop on Bara's
no.
side.
That could decide the end of the game right there, honestly. Having to cut his combo out and settle for a Tetris well.
Yes, and also not being able to counter with a 4-wide.
Another misdrop or just indecision right there. Not the prettiest start for Bara Senpai, but he's going to have to work his way out of this. Manages to put a line over on 645.
So Bara Senpai is really, really good on Puyo. It's definitely one of my weaknesses, and I really admire Bara Senpai as well as Oz.
They're both fantastic players. You know, I think previous tournament results would say that they're a whole step above 645, but right now 645 is putting in so much work. Unfortunately, just got some bad drops right there on his 4-wide attempt, and he also had a misdrop on the Z piece earlier. Gonna have to hold this slight advantage. Get this Tetris going into the swap.
Yes.
Doesn't have his trigger ready though, or happen to not get the piece. Oh, here it
Oh,
comes.
it's not going to be enough. He needs to build fast to be able to stall. And that's the other thing. You have to be able to know how big your opponent's chain is, so it gives you enough time to continue building your own.
You're right about that.
And the nice thing about swap mode is you can hold things as long as you clear lines or clear Puyo. Yeah, that is going to be a top out for 645.
As soon as you see that star, you better be in the middle of something big. Or else you are done. You can see, even just by the time that the second piece comes, the difference in speed between these two. Bara Senpai, 10 seconds in, he's 2 pieces ahead, and it just compounds to where he's 6 or 7 by the end of the turn. That being
So
said,
645 needs a red. He really needs a red and some yellows to pop, but that's all right. Both sides are not choosing to.
now I'm not familiar with how the Puyo bag works. Is it purely random, or does it take into account what you have, what you've had?
I am the wrong person to ask that question because I am not sure. I am very, very bad at Puyo. I am still learning quite a bit myself. All I know is that both players start with the same Puyo pieces.
Right.
But it might just be purely random.
That's going to be it right there.
Oh no, didn't get the yellow pieces.
It's all right. He's still got a couple games to play with. You know, unfortunate luck can just be us sometimes. Bara Senpai starting out with the DT cannon. I'm in love with it. He's going to limit how much damage 645 can do. That being said, he's kind of worked away his damage.
So in that instance, it would have just been better to keep clearing lines with the S and Z pieces because he had so many of them. And it would have continued his chain.
if you're watching, you're not too familiar with everything that goes on in a 4-wide. You have to get very particular pieces to go with very particular patterns inside the middle. Bara-senpai wasn't able to keep shuffling that piece around.
He didn't counter the harassment, wasn't ready for it, was looking for, I believe it was like a green piece to trigger it.
I think so. But sometimes if you're aiming for the big money quick, you can build your Puyo towers in a very unsafe way.
So sometimes you can try to get a little greedy, get that big chain, and you might be able to throw players off by just harassing.
It's great if you're fast, but once you get behind or you have to think about it too much, it's very tough to recover from.
Yes.
And especially when you're playing an opponent who directly counters that. Like you were saying, 645 with the 3 chains, just trying to pressure you, say you better do something right now.
So now you have to also think about 645. He still has his 4-wide when he comes back. So he could have opted to go for a swap combo with the 3-chain that he had. And it would have been pretty effective, I think.
That being said,
there he goes. It's still good. Oh no, the miss drop. He could have had 2 more line clears. But it's okay. I think it's enough. Oh, Bara-senpai
put himself in a really good situation here to dig out of it.
So
but it's not
now
gonna be
he
quite
has
enough.
to try to split that garbage on both sides. Oh, and you have to be very careful not to top out. Oh!
That gives him very, very little room to work with in Puyo, but we'll see if he can do something good with it. Now locked out the right side of the board.
The thing is, he's a really good Puyo player.
That's true. I've seen him dig out of some of the worst situations.
Oh, it was
He started
too
with it topped out,
high.
darn. Darn, I saw like 3 S pieces on a screen.
That would have been brutal.
That was crazy. 645 on set
4-3.
point right here, trying to work his way into grand finals.
Going for center 4-wide, folks.
Oh, I think I had a little issue over there on Bara-senpai's side, but he's going to clean it up with the T-spin, look for the next O piece. All right, that first line is forfeit, but depending on what happens on the swap back, 645 may close this out really quickly. That being said, Bara-senpai, he's able to put a lot of pressure on with these Puyo games.
Yeah, you can't let Bara-senpai get to his chains. They're just too big.
So the 2-chain doesn't do much to protect you right there.
But 6, oh no, the miss drop!
Can he get out?
No, there's
Nope.
not enough
Oh.
pieces. The pieces that were in the queue would have been enough to bring it back.
But dropping that S almost off screen.
Yes.
That's a shame. Final set, their final game of set point. I'm so used to saying final round over in traditional fighting games. I think great adjustment from 645. Notices the pieces that he has nearby. Building the right side of the tower, the O's, L's, and J's, is a little bit simpler for most people. Finding things right with the S's, Z's, and I pieces, and T's, of course. A little bit more difficult for many.
I actually really love the S&Z pieces because if you do it correctly, you can just alternate between the two.
Oh, yeah.
So I've learned to find my piece with them.
Good, good. Very, very tough game, but a lot of strong players here in Georgia.
So that will not be enough, and he must continue with a center 4-wide. Yes.
Got the T, got the I. Oh, gonna choose not to use the I. I think that might have been a mistake. Bara-senpai looking like he's about ready to clean this one up. Fast as he is in Puyo, he might make it before the swap. But of course, he might aim for a swap combo and try and clean this up as quick, or with as little effort as possible.
Really needs to pick up the pace on the Puyo side.
Not quite gonna do it, my friend.
Oh no, and 2 drops.
That's it.
It's gonna be it.
Great set. Good stuff to Bara Senpai. All right, guys. Like I said, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to go to Grand Finals before long, but before that, we have a world premiere for you. Stick around for us. Yes, you saw that right. Perfect Clear, hosted by Data FGC. Going to be at Georgia Tech here in Atlanta. And remind me those dates again. Was that April or March?
April 25th and 26th, 2020. We've been trying to keep this under wraps. You know, everybody always mentions how much they love puzzle games. Everybody should know how much I love puzzle games. So, you know, we're just like, why not? Why not just run a tournament just purely for puzzle games?
And a great tournament to show it at as well. You know, a lot of fighting game players play those puzzle games, keep their reactions in check, their pattern recognition, and come out, show us what you got. I know we had our mics off during the middle right there, but one of our players, Ghastly, he had to pop off about that puzzle the puzzle fighter coming in. It's one of his favorites. But now it's time for the rerun.
Yes.
You were up here commentating for these first two. Was there anything that you noticed? Anything you're thinking about this grand finals?
Look at those two. Honestly, they're both really strong with Puyo. They're really great with Tetris. You know, it just comes down to like how well they can execute their setups. Because you know, misdrops happen, or you have to kind of change your strategy midway. So it just comes down to consistent playing.
Consistency is the thing that all competitors seek. It's tough. It's real tough. Oh man, I missed my honk.
You're timing the honks? Alright, so Bara Senpai with the one thing that I know, which is GTR.
One of the more adaptable setups for sure. And of course, that's where I am with Puyo Puyo. I know what the setup is, but I can't name it, and I can't know it or recognize it visually. Just know a little bit of detail about it. Oz going to choose to pop. Confident in building. There's the perfect clear. Back to
both
against each other. Good lord.
Wow.
But Oz still going to come out on top with it since he decided to pop his chain.
Yes.
Bara Senpai
stalling out. So hopefully he has a yellow piece. I didn't check. But if he has a yellow piece, yes, he does. But is it going to be enough to
I don't think he's going to reverse it. He may clear it.
No, it is coming back.
Reverse it. 6
and
7 chain. Good look.
Oh no, Oz does not have anything to respond with.
Delay for a while, but
just keep spinning, keep spinning.
If worst comes to worst.
Oh no.
Oh, not quite. If he had gotten a delay for just a couple moments more, he may have gotten that frame perfect death swap.
Oh yes. It would have been very difficult to come back from on the
definitely.
Tetris side.
That was awesome from these two. so much back and forth. You know, they go at it with the same strats. It's like they played each other once or twice before. Something about that.
Oh, yeah, it's like they've met before. But in all seriousness, like, I have a lot of respect for both players. They're just so good.
Oh, Lord. This is going to be a tough round start here. But same tag as last time. Oz decides pop it. That is going to be it.
Oh, he should have held that bar. Senpai could have.
I think that he already switched out the whole.
No,
piece.
his whole box is empty. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And he could at least put the L piece down. Or sorry, was it the J? It was the J. Blue.
All right, Oz, I see you.
Yeah, I believe Oz is just. Is he about 2 pieces ahead?
I think 2 sounds right. And of course, Bar Senpai just wanted to clear a little bit. Maybe had a misdrop
the chain
or
is
something.
coming on the swap. As I mentioned before, 5 is enough to top out, and I believe that was a 6 chain. So you have to be able to down stack really well.
Not gonna have the pieces for it though. I'm so used to, since I started playing this on PC more than my PS4, I'm so used to hearing the Japanese voices. And
Yes.
the English voices are like, are great. They're not grating, they're not bad or anything, but it's very surprising again.
That's so funny you mentioned that. I do the same thing. I love the Japanese voices. They sound so much cooler. I'm sorry. I grew up watching, reading subs, not listening to dubs.
All right, that little layer of junk Puyos on the bottom, not going to be too big a deal for Bar Senpai to deal with.
It's almost always better for you to leave the piece just kind of dropping to give you some time to build something so that you can maybe like get additional damage with a swap combo.
Yeah.
It just seems consistently that Oz is triggering his Puyo before Bar Senpai can get to it.
It must be the strat that he's come up with. You know, I see these two as training partners. I don't know if they see themselves as that, but I know they play a lot. They may get into each other's heads, know a little bit about each other's tactics that lead them to make decisions that we don't necessarily understand.
Okay, he did get to his chain. And it does counter. Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that a power right there? And Oz is choosing to stall a little bit, so maybe.
Had a lot of simultaneous clears in there, but chains are more important. He's going to survive at least.
Yes. That is enough. Boom! Tetris for Bar Senpai.
I see Oz was going for a T-spin setup, but realized he was running out of space, needed a down stack, and that led to a bad misdrop right there. Got to do extra work to clear out that hole. Little poor chain harassment over there. I think that actually did a pretty good job of covering up the trigger. Yeah, this is a pretty dangerous situation for Bar Senpai to be in.
But he is down stacking very well. Oh my goodness.
Amazing down stacking.
Yes.
Not only surviving, but getting a little bit of damage off of it too.
Not enough to counter the 3 chain sent by Bar Senpai. But on Oz's side, as soon as he triggers a red, it's going to clear a lot of that garbage on the side.
Well, I think that is the round. Yep. Had that eyepiece just one piece too late.
It always happens. It's like, okay, I can see it. I can see it. I'm getting to it. And then you tap out.
Yep, absolutely.
Bara Senpai going for the perfect clear setup, and
He didn't quite get the right piece.
Oz with the DT cannon.
But he's got 2 Tetrises coming in. DT cannon, though, sends a lot of damage.
Especially if you don't counter it before the swap, and then you have the triple that comes. That's a lot of garbage you get during the swap.
See if Oz pops his again. He's in a great situation. He's got his whole screen filled, just about. There it is.
It looks like Oz's chain is bigger. I can't count for the life of me because like I have to wait till it gets to the bottom to
Good
see
Lord,
how big it
8.
is. Oh my
That's
god.
it. Oz, that was gross, dude. Just counter each other with some perfect clears right here.
All clears on Puyo's side.
They're all clears, right?
Bara Senpai choosing to pop both sides. Sometimes it's just better to get out of the way.
It's true. That actually looks like a potentially destructive 2-chain. Uni over on the Funky Peace train, they're trying to unlock colors for the top 8. They're doing combo trials and AA to it.
Wait, they're trying to unlock colors?
Yeah, they got in some currency. I love those guys.
You gotta appreciate that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the love for your game. Getting hyped to unlock colors? That's amazing.
See, yes, it was Bara Senpai's time to pop.
I think it's a 5-chain. Yes. I can count.
Oz with a little bit of eyepiece dependency going back to the side and none in sight.
Oh no, the miss drop on the top.
And that's going to be that game.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they're just going back and forth.
Yes, they are.
Let's see. Oh, perfect clear for Oz.
Not the end of the world for Bara Senpai. As this garbage is actually pretty nice.
Yes. T-spin with Tetris follow-up.
Oz honestly not in the best place to take advantage of a swap combo or anything. Unless he pops it super late. Which is a great possibility.
Yeah. You also have to be very quick with the swap combo because you only have like a certain amount of time before. Oh no. So I think even if Bara Senpai stalls, I didn't see a purple piece coming back. Did you?
I don't remember. That's definitely one of the most difficult parts of playing in swap, is remembering what you were doing on the last board.
So would this be called tournament set?
Yes, set point. Supposing that we are playing first to 5 for grand finals. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yes, it is first to 5.
Okay. Gonna elect not to go for the T-spin with that piece. Set up a little bit of combo potential.
Oh, look at that. T-spin and Tetris ready. Okay, I think I just noticed something.
What's that?
The blue piece is gonna tail at the end. For Bara-senpai's Shane. Oh no. It didn't. Never mind.
I think that is the game.
Oh my goodness.
Good stuff to
Oh,
Oz.
good stuff, yeah.
Impressive as always.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
We'll practice. We're catching up. We're trying.
I'll tell you what, I really enjoy this game. If you're watching and you're not into this game yet, grind it out, grab it. It's on practically everything except for Xbox One. Come see us at Perfect Clear.
Yes, please. We're going to work very, very hard on it. Hope you guys enjoy the game list. It's something that we all grew up on, you know, a little bit of everything. So,
You know, a lot of people grew up with their Game Boy with Tetris on it. Tetris Theme A. It's hard to play that and have somebody not realize what it is.
yes. And if you, you know, are scared by the swap mode, don't worry. We're going to have Puyo only, Tetris only,
And in first,
swap.
Oz.
Additionally, if you got some friends who enjoy playing the game and
Perfect
maybe you're
Clear,
a Tetris
April
person,
25th, next
maybe
year
your
at
friend
Georgia
is a
Tech.
Puyo
If you like
person.
puzzle games, be there.
Well, I guess this is stuff we didn't necessarily include.
Enjoy
in our
Units Top
trailer.
16.
We're having a really interesting tournament of Puyo Tetris versus a Puyo and a Tetris. A 4-player mode, 2 teams, 1 player Puyo, 1 player Tetris.
Yes.
It's gonna be so much fun. That's what I'm really looking forward to. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be crazy. Versus mode, garbage is all kinds of,
Yes.
of messed up.
And it's a little bit different depending on, you know, if it's Puyo versus Puyo, Tetris versus Tetris,
Yeah.
and then when it's different, then
And
there's
having
like-
2 of each on different teams is gonna be wild.
Yeah, so find your partner. If you're good at one of the games, find a partner for the other game. That'll be
yeah.
really fun.
Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here at Climax of Night Rerun. We've had a great time. I think that this is going to be it for data tonight.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. All right.
But
Stay
we
tuned.
still have Funky P.
Yes, we still have Funky P streaming Under Night in Birth EXE latest top 16 or top 8? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It says
It
Eunice
says
top
16.
16 coming up next.
All right. Guys, be sure to flip on over there. I think we'll do a channel raid or something too. Don't know if we're prepared for that. Like we said, come to Perfect Clear. We hope you enjoyed watching Puyo Puyo Tetris. We had a great time hosting it. We had a great time here at Climax of Night.
Yes.
And we'll catch you over on the Funky P stream.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night. And round start. Honk. Shout outs to Puyo Tetris.
Yes.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.